We have ignition. Strap in.
Straight Talk with Matt Hasley. Every Monday and Friday, 9 p.m. Central Time. Only on Armed Radio Global.
It's Friday night, January 27th. Hard to believe it's end of January. Special thanks to our sponsors out there, E24.com. Have you ate yet? Well, log on to E24.com. Download that app for your favorite mobile device. Click, order, and eat. It's like a food truck in your pants. Really, it's that easy. Also, HotSauceVault.com. Check out Lou at HotSauceVault.com. Hottest of the hot, wimpy for the wimp. They got it. Gag gifts, you name it. This is the first night I got Periscope Live I got going on. I'm going to try to get Facebook Live going here. But I'm having a little trouble getting it to... Hopefully we'll get it up here. We get that going and we'll broadcast in multiple platforms, so that'd be nice. So, I'm already getting bitched at by Joe. Joe, that was the last second post, so quit your bitching. Quit your. So, it's Tiger's return cut a little short, like 2 rounds short. He only got to play 36 holes. He shot 4 over, 76, 72. Everybody, with all the pressure coming back, I'm just happy to see him back golfing. He didn't look so well yesterday. Sprayed the driver around. Just didn't make anything today. I think he's going to be all right. Next week, I'll tell you what, he'd be better off. He's going to be in Dubai. He'll won't have to worry about the rough they had at Torrey Pines. That was nasty. But it's... I'll give Joe a shout out. Just tell him hi. But it's if you would have bet money, if you'd have gave me, odds on that group of Jason Day, who's number 1 in the world, Dustin Johnson, who's Player of the Year, PGA champion, and Tiger Woods, that all 3 out of that group would miss the cut, I'd have bet just about any kind of money you want. I would not have thought that they would have missed. It says, I don't know, you don't see, I don't think Facebook Live's working, Joe. I know, I don't know if Joe's actually listening or just typing on Facebook to me, but I don't know if Facebook Live is up. I know Ustream's up. We got Ustream, we got Periscope, and we are also on TuneIn and Spreaker. So we're going to be on 5 platforms. At least I'm going to be when I run my shows from now on. I'm going to run Facebook Live from now on. Just try to get people from more platforms so they can get heard and get it out there. But Justin Rose playing very, very good. He's currently got a 1-shot lead. Or see, did I shut down my? I had the PJ Tour list up and had the ladies. Oh, you know what? I got it on my laptop. Justin Rose has got a 1-shot lead over Adam Hadwin. Adam Hadwin was one kid who shot 59. I call him kid. He's first year on tour, but Canadian Adam Hadwin, he shot 66-71. He's 1 back, tied with Brant Snedeker. Adam Hadwin is one of the players who shot 59. He shot 59 last week, so pretty cool. He's keeping rolling, and that's the way you want to go when you got, You get hot on the tour, just keep it going. Don't take a week off. They're talking Rory's not going to be back at least until March because of his rib injury. And that's not good. We have, on the ladies' tour, they got the silk, pure silk. And it is called the Pure Silk Bahamas Classic. It's in Paradise Islands, Bahamas. Brittany Lincecum and Lexi Thompson. Britsy's got one shot lead over Lexi. Lexi shot 61 today. Brittany shot 64-65. Lexi 69-61. And you got Jarena Pillier 67-65. She's 3 back in the lead. Stacy Lewis is 4 back. And Megan Kang is 6 back. You got the first 5 players, on the leaderboard are all from the United States. That's not normally, you don't normally see that. So, good to see for the Americans there. Eason. Says Eason, who's on the Web.com tour, he scores redemption, takes on haters. He's on the Web.com tour who failed to break 90 in his first 3 rounds of the year. 91, 95, 90. He said good speeds for a major league pitcher, bad scores for a professional golfer. Someone on social media suggested the 24-year-old Englishman take up another sport like tennis. Another one asked if he's actually playing golf. Channel AM Tour event. One even asked for his phone number to see if he could play in their Saturday game at the club. But it says Easton one step away from the PGA Tour, but never felt further away. He said it was horrible. He said by phone Wednesday for the Bahamas, it was genuinely worrying. I was thinking about not coming out here to play these events. It's a horrible feeling when you're teeing it up and playing against some of the guys who are going to be in great form, but you know you're going to be difficult for you to make the cut. He goes, that's the hard bit about it. You're not playing well. You haven't seen good shots in a while, and you're waiting for it to click. It's madness. Says there was a little to suggest he was capable of these blow-up rounds. A former top 10 amateur in the world, he says a steady presence of the development circuit. Last year he had one top 10, 3 top 25s, and missed only 7 cuts in 24 starts with more than $64,000 in earnings. He finished 74th on the money list. You just can't imagine. He said live scoring has been unreliable, so initially there were some doubt as to his score on a hole, but then it was confirmed. 2 weeks after losing 32 balls in 2 days, Eason had a decoupled bogey 15 on the last hole. So you look at that, you feel bad for a guy like that. He's out there trying his best, and just it's like the wheels are falling completely off the car. So I hope he gets it straightened around and can get playing good golf. You hate to see a guy just lose everything like that. They had the PGA Merchandise Show ended up. The last day was today. Some cool looking products. They did a deal. PGA.com did some of the interesting products that they noticed in the over the days. It says Power Tee, all works with the driver range. Work out of the driving range except for from playing golf. Fill the holder with balls, select your tee height, and start swinging. It automatically tees the ball up for you. Have we not got even just a bit more lazy? And then here's a kind of a cool one that they did. Another one was a Itobori. I'm not sure if that's exact pronunciation, but it's all Itobori grind clubs. Are made solely by one man using nothing but his hand tools. The clubs are left chipped rather than smooth, out to a lot of better heat dispersion, also to look beautiful. They're pretty cool looking clubs. It's called Itobori grind. He can make about 20 in one day. So better hope he doesn't sell a ton of them, because otherwise he's going to be wearing his hands off. But they're kind of a real cool grind finish on the driver, the woods and everything. They had Cobra come out with their new one-length irons because they signed DeChambeau, Bryson DeChambeau, and he plays one-length irons. And I thought about that, and I've been thinking about that more and more often. When you teach golf lessons, and if you're a golfer or not, whatever. But the problem is the longer the clubs are, the more you got to stagger and move them around in your stance. Well, it's kind of a radical idea to play them all at the same in the position and just let the loft of the club determine distance. For the average player, that might be actually easier for a player of not as good skill level or beginning golfer to learn. I've been thinking about that and seeing how that would help out, and I would do is I'd really like to do is hit a set of clubs that are one length and see how the reaction from them. It seems pretty cool. I probably won't do any Cobra, but I mean, you can make any set one length, just cut them there. But they had DeChambeau on the demo day, and he went out and showed out, and he did explains his preference for the same length irons, same posture, same swing. And that's the thing is you don't have to teach somebody to move the ball around or teach somebody how to impact the ball from a different position. They're impacting it all from the same position. So I think that's smart. They had different remote control club caddies and stuff like that. They had all little different products, but they had some really cool looking golf carts. One looks like a fire truck. One looks like a 57 Chevy hot rod. But they also had smart golf balls that tell you where your club hits the ground. So, and then they had Bubba's Jetpack there, which is kind of cool. Yeah, no, I don't see it actually being in use, but it's pretty cool looking. So, they had Tiger's new M2 driver, which I think is going to sell a lot. They also had this thing that looked like almost like a straight jacket, but it's not. It's a swing jacket. God, I wish that thing would have been out years ago. I could have straightened one of my friends out. He's since passed away, but he was just. I don't know. I don't know if he would have helped him keep his arms, but it would have been worth a try. It'd been a lot easier trying to explain it to him. He had the hardest time about swinging over the top of it. Great guy, but just hilarious. I told you he'd be better off with an axe. Then they have the golf skate caddy and golf board. Those are cool looking. That I would love to actually see at the golf course. I tell you what, I think it'd be fun. I think it would speed up play. I don't know what one of them run, but it's the two stand-up electric boards. You got they got a little chair in the back. The clubs sit on the front. You just lean the direction which way you want to go. That's pretty cool. They also released in the Netherlands for the past years best of bikes in a motorcycle golf cart hybrid that debuted in the United States for the first time at the demo day. Looks like a little mini dirt bike or whatever. Your clubs go on it, and what you do is it's got the fat tires so it doesn't do any damage to the ground. It's got two little seats so somebody could actually sit on the back. I think anything to make golfers excited about playing, as long as they're not doing any damage to the course, I think it's a great idea. Something to get people out. And then they got also the new mountain bike where you can actually, it's got your golf bag actually goes, is fixed on the back, and your clubs actually just fit into it. So you could actually ride it to the golf course if you were close enough. It's pretty cool. I think they're going to have to do is get it to where, it has to be socially acceptable for you to take it out on the course. I think it's a nice idea, nice try, something to try. And then here was a really cool thing. It was called a Tough Lie 360. And what it is, it's a way to practice different lies. Most people sit on a driving range and they practice flat lies. They don't learn how to hit the ball with the ball above their feet or the ball below their feet or playing uphill or downhill. They're so used to playing it and practicing, hitting off a flat tee. Well, this actually, you can turn it whatever direction you want to get the ever lie change that you want to practice downhill lies or uphill lies, or the ball lower than your feet, or the ball higher than your feet. What you have to do. I think this is a win. This is a really smart idea. Whether people will buy it, I don't know, but you could recreate it, but I think it's a great idea. Somebody was really thinking when they got this. This thing could really help the better player. We had with new products that come out all the time. I mean, there's constantly something, to get into the marketplace, and you look like you hope you get that one thing that's like it's a no-brainer. I don't know. Some of these things, they look great. You think they're going to be hot items, and then they just seem to flop. Was it other news with golf? And this is reported out of NBC, I think it was, or whatever. And this is their news and opinion from NBC Golf. It said, would a move to May be the best thing for PGA? It says earlier this month in Maui, incoming PGA Tour Commissioner Jay Monahan was asked the advantages if the PGA would be moved from its current spot on the calendar to August to May. Shifting the PGA to an earlier date has become a water cooler topic ever since Monahan introduced the idea of a dramatically remade tour schedule that ends before Labor Day and features a more condensed major championship season. It says one of the few items Monahan was asked that he deferred an answer. Yeah, it's you look at, they're trying to do is get it away from competing with the NFL, and that makes sense. But I don't know. The PGA has always seemed like it's always been the last major. Would it be better in May? I don't know. I think you're going to get just as much play and excitement out of it. I just the one tournament that I would love to see, and I don't think they're getting anything disrespected, but I just don't. They don't seem to get the amount of players, and that's the John Deere Classic. Been one of the longest events on tour, and it seems like it's either right up around a major to where a lot of the tour players either bypass it or skip it all in general. But Claire, he does a great job. Claire Peterson, the tournament director. His staff and everybody, I mean, they do put on an awesome event. I just would love to see Tiger come back. Tiger was one of his first events. He was leading the tournament and lost to Eddie the Grip Fiore. And I don't think it was Ed won it. It was Tiger lost it. He made a triple on one hole. on the back nine that really cost him the championship. But I'd love to see Tiger come back and at least show a little bit of love for getting a sponsor's exemption for an event that he was sponsored into. Whether I think he'll do it, I don't know. There was a couple things I wanted to talk about. I'm going to stay away from politics tonight. 1 week in office, whatever. Let's do is skip politics. But I'm going to talk about how had a person that got pulled over for speeding, and let me see here. It was I got a bunch of police stories, a bunch of stupid criminal stories here that it was and some funny stories, some odd stories, but some that just you like, what the heck? But I do have one Trump story, though. I do have one, and that's but let me see here. I'm trying to find my. Oh, let's see. Oh, this is one of the stories that came out, and this is I put it on in my synopsis of my show coming up. You want crispy fries? Well, apparently, police. It was two people ran a drug operation through Burger King drive-thru, and what they would do is they use the code word "crispy fries." Police said we obtained enough evidence that pointed to an employee was selling marijuana through the drive-thru. It was substantiated with the sting operation. Later that evening, they went in and arrested him and the shift managers. They said they had conducted with Epping Police Department and Rockingham County Sheriff's Department and the Rockingham County Attorney. It said Wallace said buyers would arrive at the restaurant and ask for Nasty Boy. Once it was verified he was working, they asked for their fries to be extra crispy. Money was exchanged at the drive-thru window. The drugs were not put on any food order, but were sold in separate containers. It says, we heard rumors that employees were selling illicit drugs through some fast food restaurants. It was never substantiated until Saturday night. He was charged with possession of a controlled drug with intent to distribute. Dearborn was charged with conspiracy to distribute a controlled drug, which is the one girl that was also, his name was Norris, hers was Dearborn. She also faces charges of unlawful possession of alcohol. The pair were released on personal recognizance bail and are charged to be and are scheduled to be arraigned February 28th. And just a guess, I don't think they're employees at Burger King anymore. Just a guess. Not positive. They might be. But I'm just going out on a limb. You want crispy fries with that? Is Dirty Boy working? Yeah. Well, he's definitely dirty. Said, also, let's see here. Man got pulled over for speeding. Well, he plans on fighting the ticket. Says a man fights speeding ticket with deer defense. Massachusetts man fighting a speeding ticket in court had a unique explanation. The officer's radar gun may have picked up a deer. The Newburyport Daily News reports that Dennis Sayers of Haverhill was clocked at going 40 and a 30. Said he got a $105 ticket. He appealed to court on Thursday, asking Officer Royston Johnson if he was 100% sure his radar captured Sayer's speed or the speed of a deer that could have been in the vicinity. When confronted by a skeptical judge, Sayers replied that anything was possible. The fine was upheld. Deer, by the way, can run approximately 30 miles an hour. So, the deer can't even run 40. Unless he, maybe we had the other, there's another gentleman that, let me see if I can find that. Oh, where is it? Oh, here you go. So the speeder, he says, don't blame it on the sunshine, don't blame it on the moonlight, don't blame it on the good times, blame it on the wind. When police officers in Western Australia stopped a speeding Holden rodeo pickup truck at Bootnall on Monday, the identified driver claimed to be exceeding the legal limit because the wind was pushing me. Well, so I went through and I decided, okay, well, let's find some worse excuses. So, said, probably this is number one. I don't know how anything beats this one out, but I got like 20 of them here. Says, number one, drunk guy told me this is officers telling the tickets. He said a drunk guy told him that he was pregnant, then urinated all over himself, claiming his water broke. That's classic. Another officer said he stopped a girl with all goth black stuff on herself and little figurines on her dash. I asked her what all this stuff was. She says, I'm a Wicca. I said, a what? She goes, you know, a witch. I said, oh, yeah? Then she asked me, are you going to give me a ticket? I said, yes, I am. She said, I'll put a spell on you. I told her too late, my ex-wife beat you to it. The next one, he said, the driver, my buddy, who is a police officer, is going to kill me. Officer said, who is your buddy? The driver said, David Polino. Oh, officer said, you know David Polino? Well, in that case, you should thank him when you see him. Driver, you bet, officer. I'll do exactly that. And that officer stood there in awkward silence until the driver chimes in and says, can I help you? Officer said, just wait for my thanks. Driver says, I don't understand. Goes, can you read ma'am? Can you read my name tag out loud? Says, driver says, Officer Sergeant David Polino. Ma'am, since we're just good friends and all, and you were going to thank me, I'm just waiting for my thanks. I'd say that's where you're getting a DUI. Said, next one was, I thought the sign I-95 meant the speed limit. Goes, glad you didn't catch me over on SR 210 earlier. And here's a great one. I wasn't speeding. I just got a haircut. It makes me look fast. Here's another one. It snowed 6 inches and a radar. And the officer radars this car going 54 and a 30. Stopped her, and she very matter-of-factly told me, duh, I know I was going fast. I was trying to get to the snow off my windshield so I could see where I'm going. He just like, really? Next one, I checked with a 17-year-old kid on I-71 near MP 91, just south of Grove City, Ohio, at 101 miles an hour. He was driving a gold Ford Explorer 2-door. When I told him I checked him at 101, he threw a fit and wanted to argue with me, saying he was only doing 85. Me, being the curious cop, asked him why he thought he was only going 85. And his response was, my speedometer only goes to 85. And I had the gas pushed all the way to the floor. Well, My mom and dad had a cutlass salon way back. Oh, probably, it's got to be 82, 81. I think it probably maybe 82. I was speeding, yes, and the speedometer only went to 85. It goes past 85, but it only reads 85. So, and I had it to where you couldn't see the peg. Well, when I started to brake to slow down, I got it back to 77 before the cop saw me and pulled me over and wrote me a ticket for 77 and 55. And it's lucky he didn't catch me a little while earlier, because I'd have lost my license. So I just don't recommend speeding, because it just you're going to end up doing is you only do more harm to you. I mean, that was when I was stupid. I was only 17 years old, 18 maybe. But here's one. He goes, one of my cop friends told me a story when he pulled over a couple for speeding. Asked why the driver, who was male, was speeding. The male said that his wife, the passenger, was pregnant and they were going to the hospital. The officer said that was fine, even though he knew the truth, and followed them to the hospital to make sure everything went all right. When they got to the hospital, he escorted them in and made sure they got a room right away. Finally, the male admitted to lying. The officer didn't write him up, figured the hospital bill would be enough. Yeah, that's probably true. Next one was, my car has a recall on it and unexplained acceleration, and I'm on the way to get it fixed. Yeah. Next one is, I have a cold, and when I cough, my foot mashes the pedal. Yeah, that's a great one. I stopped a guy for doing 71 and a 50 because he wanted to go to McDonald's before the breakfast menu ended. Well, now he doesn't have to worry about that because it goes on all day. Said, I had someone tell me that he put too much oil in the engine and he had to drive really fast to burn some of that extra roll out. Yeah, right. I was told by a lady her accelerator was broken and it always went that fast no matter what. Pull a Corvette over doing 155 late at night on a highway, no traffic. I told the driver, you were flying. Unless you have a pilot's license, you're going to jail. Yes, he handed me a pilot's license, so yes, I let him go. So, I always wondered if you were a race car driver and you know, like a NASCAR or IndyCar, and you get done speeding, or going, at a race, and you go get in your car and have to drive 55 or 65, it's got to feel like you're going nowhere. Got to feel like you're going about 15 miles an hour. Guy says, officer stopped a lady who was crying. When he walked up, I asked what the problem was. She said she'd gone shopping for the first time after having a baby, and nothing fit right. I handed her license back and slowly backed away. Nothing good was coming from this. Yeah, that's right. Officer was just keeping the 2-second buffer time between me and the car behind me. There was no car behind me. Good job, huh? Says, the box says, if you have an erection over 4 hours, see your doctor immediately. Next one was, I wasn't speeding, I was qualifying. Yeah, he's a NASCAR fan. Next one, a 17-year-old was going 23 over. Maybe this is me. When I asked why he was going so fast, he looked me dead in the eyes and said, because I'm just all kinds of stupid. That might have been me. I was 17 at that time. He says, I got tagged for doing 54 and a 45 years back. The officer laughed when I told me, I said that my dyslexia was acting up again. I got stopped one night. I was, I've told this story before, but it's, if you've heard it or not, whatever, but I was probably 16, out riding bikes, like 10:30 at night, in the middle of summer, me and a buddy of mine, and I'm like 2 blocks from my house, almost home. I'm pedaling down the street and going under the street lights and stuff, and I can see my mom and dad's house. I mean, that's how close I am. I look back and I see a car driving really slow, creeping along with no headlights on. Oh, whoa, wait a minute, this is weird. So I start pedaling a little faster, and all of a sudden the headlights come on, and I hear this car just gas it as hard as it can. So I'm like, oh crap, we're gonna get run over by some psycho. So the street that my mom and dad's house is on jogs this a little bit to get to the side street along it. So if you go straight, you run right into their front yard. You have to go to your right a little bit through a stop sign, and then left immediately to get on that same street. So we just blow the stop sign, not thinking about it, just trying to get home, and we pull in right behind my mom and dad's car to get out of the way, and this car is skidding through the intersection after us. You can hear them, and we stop, and all of a sudden a police car goes skidding by us, and I'm like, oh my God, it's a cop! Thank God, I'm like, my heart's beating like a bunny rabbit, and I'm and so the officer says, stop right there. And he says, where do you live? And I turn around and point right at the house. And he goes, okay. He says, where do you live? And my buddy tells him or whatever. All of a sudden, another squad car pulls up on the end of a block down, and one pulls up on the other end. And we're like, what the heck? They're boxing us in. And we're like, what the heck we do? So we're just sitting there, and he's talking, calling on the radio and stuff. And all of a sudden, here comes my dad walking out. You got to imagine, I'm 16 years old. My dad comes out. He's got corduroys on. That's what he wore. He lounged around the house in corduroys. That was his. No shoes, socks, shirt hanging out. And he walks up and he goes, can I help you, officer? And the officer says, well, we had a report of prowlers in the neighborhood. We thought these 2 boys might be prowlers. And he says, nope. Looked the officer dead straight and he goes, nope. My son can't be a prowler. He's too slow. And turned and walked back in the house. Never said another word. Never said anything to me. And the officer went, well, he goes, you got more problems than I'm ever going to give you going into that house. And I was like, holy crap, am I in trouble? Never said a word to me. I just, I was like, thinking, hey, thanks for getting me out of that jam, Dad. What a weird story, you think about that going back. But one to laugh about. Yeah, my dad was always, I remember the one night I was parking golf carts. This is way back. I'm going to be younger than that. I was probably 14. Pouring down rain, just pouring down rain. And I was standing up rather than sit down on the seats because they were just soaking wet. I was drenched pretty much. Wouldn't have made a difference if But I'm trying to park these things standing up, got one hand on the seat, and they had these tiller bars, not the steering wheels they have nowadays, but they go left or right to steer them, the old carts. Well, I went to hit the brake. My foot slipped off the brake, and the assistant pro was standing right there watching me. It wasn't like I was doing anything screwing around. And foot slipped off the brake, hit the gas, went slammed into the cart in front of me, practically threw me over the top of the cart. And he goes, hey, I saw the whole thing. Tell your dad what happened. I'll vouch for you. You didn't do it on purpose. So I said, all right. So I go home. My dad's sitting there in the recliner. I said, Dad, I got something to tell you. Huh? And I go through and I tell him the whole story, and he goes, And I'm like, okay, wow, whew. I said, that was a little easier than I thought it was going to be. I thought I was going to be in huge trouble, So next day, my dad's out there at the golf course, and he turns to me, and he didn't normally come out to this course. He was usually at he was in charge of 3 courses. He would always be at the one course. Well, he came out that day to the other course, and he goes, "What did you tell me you wrecked a cart last night?" And I'm like, I did. And he goes, "When?" I said, "You were watching TV, and I told you, and you said okay." And he goes, "You know better to talk to me. Better to talk to me when I'm watching TV." And then all the guys just laughed at him. But yeah, my dad just totally ignored me, and probably that was luckily I got out of that one. Becky Breezy, welcome to the show. This Straight Talk with Matt Hasley. Hey, Ben Stacka joined. Let me know. Dale Fire joined. Howdy, stir. Is this a call-in? Well, you could actually do is tweet where you're at. Let me know where you're tweeting in from. So I'm on, ARM Radio does a talk show every night of the week, but I'm on 3 nights a week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. You could do so at ARM Radio 1. Make donations to ARM Radio 1. Take it all. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think that she's showing me her credit card number. I wonder if that's valid. How you doing, Dale? You don't like? I love the mustache. Do you post where you're from? That's what I can do is give you acknowledgement of where you're from. I'm glad you're tuning in. I appreciate you coming on. This is ARM Radio Global. We are on TuneIn. The Badlands, good. Roger's from Massachusetts. We are based in Boston. So we are on Straight Talk with Matt Hasley. I'm on Monday, Wednesday, Friday. We have I live in Brewster. There you go. But we have one of the head of the show is from Boston, Massachusetts. I love that. I got money. Show me the money. We have we're on also Spreaker.com and Ustream.tv. So got hit. My guy at Walmart got hella paid. There you go. Got hella paid. How much did you get paid? What was it paid for? I'm getting my my Periscope Live chiming in. So welcome all the people on Periscope Live. We I was telling about my my incident with the police. Hey, I want to ask anybody out there, they having problems with if they have an iPhone. If you got an iPhone, it's driving me nuts. This thing is, I don't know what you can do about it, but this thing is shutting off at 38% battery life. It seems like it's constantly dropping. I don't know what the heck is going on with it. It just seems like it's constantly, if you get it down to about 38, 40%, boom, it'll shut off. And then you got to plug it back in. Once it boots back up, it shows you it's at 38%. So something's weird about it. There was a story about a guy that my niece did it when they were doing the gender of their to-be of their babies. They sprayed what is it, that silly string, and they did colored silly string. Well, apparently this guy wanted to do a huge gender reveal, so he revealed an explosion. It said a Nebraska's couple attempted to at a creative baby gender reveal, ended up earning them the sheriff's citation for setting off an explosive without a state permit. John Sturkle, 26, and his wife Ashley wanted to do something unique for their baby gender reveal video on Facebook, so they used an exploding targets he previously used without issue on the property west of Scottsbluff. The video shows Sturkle shooting the target, which explodes and releases a cloud of blue chalk when he shouts, "It's a boy!" The explosion resulted in multiple calls to Scottsbluff Sheriff's Office. I got an ad that popped up. It says, but it cost him a $1,000 fine. Woohoo! Wow. Yeah, that's pretty stiff. So, we also have guy got accused of robbing a bank. He was and he pled guilty to it. Is a Kansas man accused of robbing a bank to escape life. He's pled guilty to charges stemming from the heist. Lawrence Ripple, 70, entered a plea of guilty to charges stemming from the September robbery as part of a deal reached with prosecutors. The FBI said Ripple walked into the Bank of Labor in Kansas September 2nd and handed a teller a note reading, "I have a gun, give me money." Court documents state Ripple took the money and sat down in the lobby of the bank until he was approached by a security guard. "I'm the guy you're looking for," he allegedly told the guard. Police quickly responded to the bank, and Ripple allegedly told investigators he'd been arguing with his wife and no longer wanted to be in that situation. So, what did he do? He robbed a bank and then gave himself in. The affidavit in support of the robbery charges against Ripple states the suspect wrote out his demand note in front of his wife and told her he'd rather be in jail than at home. Ripple's wife said he had become angry when she reminded him that the clothes dryer needed to be repaired. So it says the judge set a sentencing date and will set following pre-sentencing investigation. Ripple faces up to 20 years in prison and a fine up to $250,000. I don't know. I think it might be worse to send him home. Yeah, it's kind of tough to... Here's a Texas music store. Catches a guy. It says police in Texas uploaded security camera footage of music store thief who walked out of the shop with an entire guitar stuffed down his pants. It says Fort Worth Police Department uploaded a video. I tell you what, these stupid pop-up ads. Video YouTube showing the man walk into the Guitar Center store Wednesday and go to a corner where he shoves a $1,700 tobacco sunburst Fender guitar down his pants and uses his puppy vest to help hide the instrument. Police said they were shocked by the footage. I had a guy stole a driver out of my shop that way. So, yeah, it happens. He'll eventually get caught. He'll probably go to try to sell it. Here's one. And, yeah, I would like to see this go in effect, but I just can't see this happening. It says, GOP lawmaker in Mississippi proposes fines and psychological counseling for saggy pants. The Mississippi lawmaker really doesn't want to see your underwear. Tom Witherspoon, Republican serving in the State House of Representatives, has proposed a law that could lead to fines and even counseling for people who wear saggy pants or style in which pants are so low that the underwear is exposed. Personally, I like to see people dressed when they're in public. I like to see people with their pants up. I would like to see that too. It says fines begin at $20 for a second. Begin at $20 for a second offense, and run up to $100 for a sixth offense. I would love to see. I just people don't, the real reason that got started prisoners were doing it to show that they were available for, sex. That's what it was for. So, yeah, but to see people sit there and do it, and they don't even think about it. Here's one. Carjackers. They drop off boy found in backseat. They carjacked the car and found him in the backseat and dropped him off and said, "Have a nice day at school." Don't mind us. We're just carjacking your car. They had... let's see here. They had... here's kind of a weird homework assignment. You get these kids... it says... Pennsylvania High School is apologizing after students were given a math homework assignment that asked which family member had sexually assaulted a girl. The assignment is focused on Maya Angelou and her autobiography. I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings. It provides an algebra formula that asked Angelou was sexually abused by her mother's flunk at age 8, which shaped her career choices and motivation for writing. Penridge High School students needed to solve the formula before deciding whether the answer was a boyfriend, brother, or father. Screenshots of the homework proposed to the news organization showed the subsequent question reads, trying to support her son as a single mother, she worked as a pimp, prostitute, and blank. Another formula was solved to determine if the answer was bookie, drug dealer, or nightclub dancer. The homework was coupled with a word puzzle about the book and author, the Intelliger newspaper reported Friday. I can't believe that would actually be a homework assignment, but you never know what goes on. You see these homework assignments that they have to do nowadays. Yeah. Who raped the lady? Blank. I'm like, are you kidding me? But it was in Percy, Pennsylvania. They did that homework assignment. And I'm sure they got a lot of parents that were calling in about it. They had... here's one. You got a mall. You get these malls and everything. But this mall was once valued at $190 million. Was auctioned off in Tarentum, Pennsylvania. It was foreclosed after its owners failed to repay $143 million. Has been auctioned off for, get this, $100. Wells Fargo Bank was owed the money for a 2006 loan. It submitted the winning bid for a 1.1 million square foot Galleria at Pittsburgh Mills on Wednesday. Well, they owed the money. They should have got it anyway. I don't know why they had to pay the $100, but yeah, imagine that. $100. Hey, you want to buy them all? They had, let's see here. Here's one here. You wonder, this guy, police on Long Island, man said they arrested a man who has had his driver's license suspended nearly 100 times. The Suffolk County Police Department says 47-year-old was arrested Tuesday night at a park and ride in Comic and charged with aggravated unlicensed operation of a vehicle, possession of marijuana, and criminal possession of a weapon. Police say officer detected odor of marijuana emanating from his car. A search of the vehicle reportedly turned up a legal rifle as well as marijuana. Officials say the man has a total of 95 suspensions on his license from 9 different dates. Police didn't say what the suspensions were for. I'm like, you think why should he even get a license back? It doesn't matter. He's going to drive whether he's got a license or not. Here's this kind of a scary one here. Got to really watch what you're doing out there. This woman nearly carjacked after stopping for a dummy in the road. This is Newport, North Carolina. Sheriff's Office says a woman nearly escaped being carjacked after spotting what she thought was a child sitting in the middle of the road on a dark night. Turned out to be dummy dressed in children's clothing. As the woman slowed her car, two men wearing dark hoodies approached and pulled on her door handles. She sped away and called for help. As the suspects fled, according to sheriff's offices, that's not necessarily where they going to just carjack her. They could have been doing anything. They could have attacked her, raped her, done anything. They've had... I haven't heard any recent reports, but they had a suspect where they had creepy clown spottings here in last fall. I haven't heard anything lately, but so it's about that time. We had last one here is police were also said that in Atlanta, federal prosecutors say 4 men who advertised heroin for sale on Facebook had been convicted of conspiracy to deal drugs in Atlanta. Oh, yeah. I don't know how you think you'd get away with that. So, good. But say if they let that go on for very long, that would tend to make me believe that Facebook doesn't care. But good thing they stepped in and they were arrested. But here, DC Deli. This is a story, the one story I want to talk about, the Trump story, but apparently a deli in DC is getting tons and tons of wrong numbers, Trump complaints meant for the White House. A Washington deli a few blocks from the White House said a simple typo led to a flood of calls from people seeking to complain about President Donald Trump. Bub and Pop's Deli, about 7 blocks from the White House, said the calls started coming in Monday after a Twitter user posted the incorrect number for the White House comment line. The owner said that was a mistake, an easy one, as the numbers are only 1 digit apart. The White House line is just 1 number off. I don't need to give the number out, but yeah, the eatery said it received about 100 calls complaining of the new president since the typo was tweeted. Employees said the callers continue to rant about Trump even after being told they have the wrong number. I would do is record it, leave a message. Maybe you can get some funny recordings. Well, it's that time. It's a fast hour. We did 1 hour already. We had last story here. Had a mayor that really liked his team. He was really, I don't know. I got 2 quick ones there. It says, but this mayor, he liked his team so much that he actually got ejected for protesting a call. You know, you think about it, it wasn't even his, but it says he got booted out of the stadium. Greenlee, Colorado. Greenlee Mayor Tom Norton is there on a hometown University of North Colorado men's basketball team. Unless he gets ejected after protesting a referee's call. Norton denied being out on the court, saying, "I'm behaving." He was later readmitted and watched the rest of the game from another seat several rows up. Yeah. They also had, this is kind of a cool project. I don't know how well it's going to work, but Frito-Lay's unveils a Tostitos bag that detects alcohol. So what it does is, it says bag knows when you're drunk. Frito-Lay's unveiled party-safe Tostitos bag for the Super Bowl that detects whether its holder has been drinking and can even order an Uber. The limited edition party-safe Tostitos bag, designed by Goodbye Silverstein and Partners, contains a sensor connected to a microcontroller that detects trace amounts of alcohol on a person's breath. turning the front of the bag red and showing an image of a steering wheel and a message, don't drink and drive. Well, if it helps people, it's worth it. Don't drink and drive, take a cab. It's a lot easier to do, come get your car. That even one bar that would do is people would leave their car there. They would do is write them a note, sign it, and leave a note for a free beer for the next day for thanking them for being smart and not driving home drunk. So rewarding them for being smart. That's good. So everybody have a great night, a great weekend. If you see something, say something. Most of all, be safe. Because a lot of crazy stuff going on out there. But we'll see you on Monday.